Hey y'all, welcome back to Looks by Nahima, and I am Nahima. Here we make fashion and beauty related content, so if that sounds like something that you're kind of into, you know, hey, subscribing is free and that's something you can definitely do. So yeah, if you aren't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. Make sure you have that bell notification clicked, and you know, if you want to, leave a like even before you watch the video, you know, switch it up. And as you can see by the title of the video, we're going to be doing a full face using Juvias Place. But before we get into that, make sure that you guys go and enter my 500 subscriber giveaway. And you guys have been amazing on that. And as you guys can see on my current subscriber count, we are growing super fast. So thank you guys so much for subscribing and checking out my videos every week. I really appreciate it. So if you guys have not already, make sure that you go enter that giveaway before it closes. You still have a few more days to do so. I'm giving away an eyeshadow palette, a highlighter palette, as well as a purse and some sunglasses. So if that sounds like some things that you're into, make sure you head over to that video and enter. I'll leave it up in the eye as well as in the description box down below. Make sure you go enter it. Juvias Place is a super well-known Instagram brand that has now moved into the storefronts at your local Ulta. They have like a cute little setup. It's super colorful, super African vibes, and I'm very much so here for it. They're known for their eyeshadows and their beautiful eyeshadow formula. But you know, recently, as you guys probably saw in my last video, they recently just launched a complexion line, so now they're kind of known for that as well. Over the past year and a half now, I have acquired a really poppin' Juvias Place collection, and I realized that I have just about everything I need for like a full face worth of Juvias Place. I was like, so I decided to do it for y'all. So without further ado, let's get into this full face using Juvias Place. So I decided to zoom you guys in so that you're able to see my makeup application a little bit more clearly. Let's hop right into it and start off with the makeup look. So we're actually gonna be starting off with the eyes. I know I have almost never given you guys a really cool eyeshadow look on this channel, but that's all gonna change right now because I have a really cute Pride themed eyeshadow look, you know, that I'm thinking percolating in my head for this video. So it's gonna be really pretty, really rainbow, great for Pride Month, you know, in celebration. And I can't think of a better brand to create a really fun, colorful, rainbow inspired eyeshadow look with. You know, Juvias Place is that girl when it comes to eyeshadows. Particularly, I can't think of a better palette than the Juvias Place Zulu palette. Fun fact, this is actually a brand new Zulu palette, and brand new as in I literally have not even dipped in, swatched any of that. I literally just took it out of the packaging for the first time right now. I've had it for a few months, but for some reason, I don't know what's going on with me. I have not opened it or used it at all, but I've wanted this palette so bad, and it's looked so beautiful on Juvias Place's Instagram, so I had to pick it up, but I'm finally going to be using it now. And again, I can't think of a better eyeshadow, you know, theme look than Pride inspired. As you guys can see, super beautiful rainbow colors. And I absolutely love Juvias Place's packaging and their artwork. It's stunning. Kind of like, if you're not gonna have a mirror on your palette, you better have a beautiful Nubian goddess. You know, either a mirror or a Nubian goddess, that's it, period. So you're gonna be using this palette as well as my well-loved and used and abused Nubian 2 eyeshadow palette. If you guys are longtime subscribers and followers on my Instagram, you'll know that this is actually my favorite everyday eyeshadow palette. It is what I think should be an essential in everybody's collection if you wear eyeshadow. And Like I said, don't judge me, but this is how it's looking. As you guys can see, well loved and well dipped into. She's Dorothy. I need to clean her, but this is what she's looking like. Really, really like warm, sultry colors, very earthy tones. The colors are just so rich in here, and I love that you have your nice browns, plums, oranges, but you also have those really nice bright pops of colors in the blue and in the yellows and the green. Stunning palette. So I'm going to be using these two eyeshadow palettes to create the eyeshadow look for today. Y'all, I'm literally so sad. You guys are probably like, girl, how did your eyeshadow end up halfway done? I am so sorry. I just checked my camera and the footage was all blurry. The camera was doing weird backflips while I was filming the first part of my eyeshadow. So I really apologize for that. I'm gonna quickly go over how I got to this step in my eyeshadow look so you guys are able to recreate this. Again, I super apologize. So basically what I did was I went in with this red and then the orange and the yellow as my transition shades, the red on the outer portion, the orange in the middle, and the yellow in the inner third. And because this yellow wasn't as pigmented as I wanted it to be, and I kind of wanted to really have that yellow be like a punch, I went in with the shimmer shade, which is Nairobi from the Nubian 2 palette. And I took that on a fluffy brush and went lightly and dusted that over on top of the yellow matte shade to kind of intensify that yellow, and it ended up turning out really nice. And then I went ahead and cut the crease with my concealer in shade 8. So I cut the crease with that and with this purple violety shade from the Zulu palette and packed it all into the outer V with like more of a buffering brush that's more tapered. Just really dabbed that color into the outer V. Did that on both sides. And then I went in with this stunning shade, and I was talking for days about how stunning this blue shade is. This is my favorite shade of blue like in the whole world, a cerulean blue, and this is just that color to a T. It's the shade Cleopatra from the Nubian 2. That's how I have that blue in the center of my eye. So luckily I didn't finish the entire eye look. Egypt from the Nubian 2 palette, this really stunning green shade. It's an emerald green shade. It's my favorite shade from this palette. It is beautiful. So we're gonna be going in with this green shade on the inner third of my lid as the final lid shade. I just kind of wiggle it into the natural eye socket. Green is just so pigmented. It's gorgeous. Like, I love the gradient of all these colors. I went a little bit overboard with the green on this side of the eye, so I just took a little bit more of that blue onto my finger, and then I'm just gonna pat that in between just to blend those shades together. I'm just gonna take that same finger and kind of pat in between on this eye too, just to get like a nice blend. You guys, do not sleep on your fingers as makeup tools, because can y'all see this gradient? This gradient is fire. Like, I'm proud of myself, you guys. Like, I really like this look. It's cute. And just from what I'm noticing, I feel like the red is getting a little bit lost in the sauce. So I'm gonna take my fluffy transition brush. This is the brush that I was using for all my transition shades. I'm gonna just take that one more time, dip really quick into the red, and kind of just swoop it into the outer portion, just so that red isn't getting lost. I'm gonna do that same thing with the orange as well, right in the center. And as kind of like the last step, I think this could kind of actually look really, really cool. Obviously y'all notice that there is also this really cool lime green shade in the Zulu palette, so I'm thinking I could just take my finger and, you know, dab a little bit into it and dab right over the green, the emerald green that I applied. And I think that could possibly look cool, or that could look terrible. We'll see together. So I'm just gonna take that onto my finger and kind of just dab it in. I think it could just kind of brighten up that color a little bit. Okay, that kind of didn't have the effect I thought it was going to. I thought it was gonna like make it like super neon-y, but that's all right, that's okay. I think it still looks really cool with this shade of green. So for right now, this is the eyeshadow look. I think it's a really, really cute, just subdued kind of, you know, pride rainbow inspired eyeshadow look. Obviously it's not done, we still have to do the under eye. So we're gonna hop right in with the Juvias Place foundation. I have mine in the shade 140 Angola. And if you guys have not checked out my full review and first impressions on this foundation, like where have you guys been at? Because that video is high-key popping. You guys really, really blew that video up, and I really, really appreciate it. It's like at over 1K views right now. I think right now it's like on 1.4K, and it's literally not slowing down. So shout out to y'all for doing that. So that's awesome. So make sure you go check out that full review I have on this foundation. So we're gonna go into this shade as my foundation today. This shade ended up being like literally my perfect shade match. Like everyone was talking in the comments about how good of a shade match this was, and I would definitely 100% agree with you. It literally looks like my skin in liquid form, which I stan. You really honestly do not need a lot of this foundation at all. It is super full coverage and really, really nice. And just as like an update to my first impressions on it, I have been using this foundation like non-stop. It has like literally become like my new favorite. I've been reaching for it like every other day, and that is a lot. Like before this, I was reaching a lot for my Maybelline Superstay foundation, which is still like one of my favorite foundations, especially like one of my favorite drugstore foundations. But this one is definitely coming for that foundation's neck. And my all-time favorite foundation is the Fenty one. This one is not yet coming for Fenty's neck because there's definitely a place for both of them, like a time and a place for them. And you know, Fenty is still like securing the slot of mateness. But this one just looks like, come on. Can we just talk about how velvety matte that is, and just how, you know, that glided into my skin so easily, yet doesn't make it look cakey or heavy at all. Like, come on. From that review, we still have the Juvias Place concealer in the shade number 8. And I am really, really enjoying this concealer. Like I will say this concealer has become my favorite concealer in the matter of like what, a week and a half that I've had it. I've used it every single time I've worn makeup. Like I attempt to reach for my other concealers, and then I just go straight into this concealer. It's just so good. Like super creamy. Like the coverage is amazing. It's super creamy. The color is great. It just works so well. And what I noticed about this concealer is it works really, really well with other foundations as well, which was my big question from my first impressions. Does it work well with other foundations? And yes, it does. Juvias Place really, really succeeded with their formula here. That just shows that taking your time really pays off. And I just can't stop raving about how good this foundation concealer are, because for a first launch of complexion products to be this good, it's crazy. So Juvias Place did come out with powder. I have not picked those up. I don't know if I will pick those up. Let me know in the comments down below if you're planning on picking up those Juvias Place powders. But I'm just gonna go in with my Avon loose powder. And I have this Avon powder here in the shade Chestnut. I really like how I really like the pigment on these Avon powders. Like the color really does show up. It's not like super a true translucent. Like the color does show up, but it's really, really nice as far as coverage goes. Like if you want added coverage from your loose powders, these are really, really good. Just get a color that you like for sure. And as you guys can see, it keeps me real matte. Taking a big fluffy brush with that Black Radiance powder and just powdering the rest of my face. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with the cheek products. I'm gonna be taking my, oh, I love this palette so much, the Heron Blush Palette Volume 1. And if you guys have not seen my video called the best bronzer for deep skin, spoiler alert, it's this bronzer in the shade Abby. I talk all about how much I love this shade, as well as, you know, some of my favorite contour shades and all that. I'll leave that up in the eye if you want to go see that. But I'm gonna be taking Abby as my bronzer shade today. I've been using this a lot this summer because I think the summertime is the perfect time to be nice and bronzed. I'm gonna take that on my e.l.f. Flawless Face Brush. Like, you guys just look at the difference between the two sides of my face, the bronze side and the non-bronze side. Like, get yourself this palette. If you have deep skin, please get yourself this palette. Do yourself a favor, and it's really not that expensive. And I'll leave links down below to all these products so you guys can find them really easily. I know I hate shopping online and not being able to find things easily. And I like to just run the remainder of my bronzer over my nose. I've seen some people do that here on YouTube. Apparently it gives like a nice sun-kissed flush to the face. I've liked it when I've done it, so I kind of just do that at the end. You know, make sure everything's blended together. So this is how like the bronziness is looking. And you know, as this palette entails, it is a blush palette. So there's these 3 blushes and 2 shimmery shades. I don't know if those are meant to be shimmering blushes or something. I just use them as highlighters. And then this really deep blush, which I use as a bronzer. So a lot of use out of this palette, but I am not gonna be using this as my blush today. I'm gonna take this single blush in the shade Sarafina that came out with the Afrique collection. This really pretty, you know, muted coral shade. Just taking that really, really nice fresh blush for the summer. It's really pretty. Stunning. And it has like such like a nice like slight sheen to it. It's pretty. I really, really like it. And then so now I'm gonna be going in with my highlighter, which will be in loose highlighter in the shade Nubia. Juvias Place has loose highlighters, and I have used this once before, and it was actually in my full face using black owned makeup brands videos. Again, I'll link that up in the eye if you didn't check it out yet. So I'm kind of in that video, I'm just using like all my black owned, you know, faves in one video and doing a full face of that. So I used this highlighter in that video, so I'm going to use this highlighter again in this video. The shade just looks so pretty. Like, I love seeing loose highlighter just in the packaging. Stunning. Gonna open this up, and it has like a sifter. It's kind of hard to see it through, but basically it has like a little bit of the powder in the pan. Makeup setting spray. I'm just gonna spray once on here. Boom. Just on the high points. See, and then you just get like a really, really pretty glow from this. Like, I just feel like the glow from a loose highlighter is just so, you know, even more blinding and just so like unique from a powder highlighter. I think I just put the perfect amount. That's awesome. And the setting spray really helps it to melt into the skin. The dry powder a little bit onto my fan brush and just apply it a little bit on the cupid's bow. And then onto the bridge of the nose, focusing on the center of the bridge. Oh gosh, too much right there. And clearly that's what happens when you apply too much. And you know, if you do that, just go in with your powder brush and attempt to correct mistakes. Yep, powder brushes help things. Brush to put it onto my brow bone, just super easy. Glides on beautifully. That's what I like about loose highlighters, especially because they have such a multi-purpose. And you can even use a loose highlighter as like an eyeshadow shade as well. So that's really cool. Now all we gotta do is finish out the lower lash line, do some mascara, and put on this really beautiful lip shade. If you guys watched that other video, you know what the lip shade is, but if you didn't, hold up, wait a minute, because the lip shade is gorgeous. But let's finish out this purple shade from the Zulu palette. And like I said earlier, I kind of erased this purple shade from my outer corner when I was blending the concealer. My mistake, but it's all good. It's not that deep. So just gonna take that purple shade and pat it back into the outer corner. And as you can see, super pigmented. You just kind of go into a V shape with that. Now that we're doing the bottom lash line, I can go ahead and blend that purple onto the lower lash line as well. And what I like to do, a nice rule of thumb, is as you did on the top, you do on the lower lash line. Into the flat shader brush, I used to pack the blue shade onto my lid, the tip of the brush, and you can actually use that onto the lower lash line. And just run it really close to my lash line, right in the middle, just to kind of line it up with where it is on the top lash line. The green on, and then do that same thing with the green. Just right onto the inner third. Y'all, I'm really loving how this eyeshadow look turned out. Like, I feel like you can see I feel like you can really see where each one of these shades stands out. I'm just gonna quickly apply on my mascara. I use the Avon Big and Daring mascara. Avon has such good mascaras. Don't sleep on Avon when it comes to mascaras, because these are like literally my favorite mascaras. Okay, so this is the finished eye look. This look has definitely inspired me to start playing with eyeshadow again. So if you guys have any eyeshadow looks that you guys want me to create in the future, any ideas, any color stories, any of that stuff, please leave it down below. I want to start doing eyeshadow looks again, and you know, feeling super inspired to play with my eyeshadow palette collection, because your girl has like a decent sized eyeshadow palette collection and they were collecting dust. But now we're gonna wipe that off and start using them again. Matte liquid lipstick in the shade Afrique. This came out with their Afrique collection over last summer. I picked this up actually in the same order that I got the foundation and the concealer in. So I just went ahead and finally got this lipstick. I knew I wanted to film this full face, and also I've really been wanting this lipstick for the longest. It just looks so pretty. Like, ooh, I'm excited because it's like, it's a red shade, but it's like an interesting red shade. It's not like these other reds out here. She's, you know, a cool red. Oh wow, it's so pigmented. Wow, gorgeous shade of red so far. This is just one swipe of the lipstick, and this is the color payoff that it's giving me. So far, it feels really comfortable on the lips. I'm definitely gonna have to wear this lipstick shade out and really see how it lasts throughout the day. And I can already feel it, like, you know, drying down and, you know, getting more matte, but it's definitely not uncomfortable. It just feels like a really like comfortable matte lipstick. This shade is so stunning. I'm really happy that I ended up getting it because I needed a new red in my collection, and I definitely think there's a spot for this one in there. I think I just did a full face of Juvias Place, or basically a full face of Juvias Place. The only product I didn't end up having was, I guess, their gel eyeliner, because I don't really do eyeliner ever, and as well as their powders. But besides that, full face of Juvias Place here. What do you guys think? How do you guys think the look turned out? I think it turned out really nicely, and I think this just shows that Juvias Place is really coming for the girls. Like, you know, they're not just dominating an eyeshadow, they're dominating complexion now. They have lip products as well, like gorgeous, like, you know, they got hidden bronzers in their palettes, gorgeous blushes and highlights. You guys, do not sleep on Juvias Place because they're coming for every single one of your neck. Really great black owned brand, good quality products, affordable price. Go check them out. Like I said, I'm leaving links down below, and, you know, a full breakdown of all the products that I used on my face, whether they're Juvias Place or not, just so you guys have that information. So all that will be down below, as well as the links. And don't forget, I also have the link to my 500 subscriber giveaway. Make sure you go and enter that. I'll also leave a link to my favorite bronzer video, as well as the contour video, so that you have all the information on that, as well as my full face using black owned makeup brands videos, where I also featured a lot of Juvias Place. Well, I know this was a long video, but I hope you end up liking this Pride inspired makeup look, this full face using Juvias Place. If you guys would like to see more videos like this, more full face videos, I would love to give you those. Please leave your ideas all down below. You guys have been awesome, and I really appreciate it. Leave a like down below to let me know that you'd like to see more videos like this. Don't forget to subscribe, click that bell notification, because I'm uploading 2 times a week. Your girl's being consistent, and I have a big surprise for you guys in July. So just wait for my video coming out July 1st, and you guys will see that huge surprise. So again, I hope you guys really like this look and like this video. See you guys next time. Bye.